In this session, we are going to talk about if-else statements in Python. If-else statements are conditional statements used to handle conditions. Let's understand it with an example. Let's say you are making a movie and you need to choose an actor. You have a rule that the age of an actor should be more than 15 years. This requirement is the condition. You will check the person's age, and if it meets the condition older than 15, the condition is true. Otherwise, it will be false. If the condition is true, you will let them in and might show a message that you are selected. If the condition is false, the else part will kicks in and show a message you are not eligible. Here we are making a decision using a conditional statement. The if statement has a condition. If the age is more than 15, the person will be selected. If the condition is true, it will run the code inside the if statement showing you are selected. If the if condition is false, it will automatically run the else part, which doesn't have any condition but execute whenever the if condition is false. Now let's perform it practically. Here I am in my Jupyter notebook. We are going to write a code to check whether the age of the actor is 15 or not. We need the age of the actor, so we will take a user input. I am creating a variable age and taking an input with the prompt enter your age. Now let's use the if statement. For the if statement, we use the if keyword. Here I am writing if and then the condition. The condition is age should be greater than 15. After the condition, we always use a colon to close our condition. When we press enter for a new line, it automatically creates a space known as indentation. This space helps Python to know that this code is a part of if condition. Now we write print you are selected. Whenever the if condition is true, it will run this part of the code. Otherwise, it will ignore it. Now let's write the else part. For else, we simply type else without any condition, because if the if condition is false, the else condition will be executed. With else, we use a colon and then write the code like print sorry you are not eligible. Now let's run the code. If I input my age as 16, the if part get executed like you can see on the output screen. Now let's run it again. And if I input the age as 12, the else part get executed like you can see on the output screen. Now we'll write another code to check whether the password meets the minimum length requirement of 8 characters. We need the user to input a password, so we'll take a user input. I am creating a variable named as password and taking an input with a prompt enter your password. Now let's use the if statement. Here I am writing if and then the condition. The condition is the length of a password should be greater than or equal to 8 characters. With password, I am using len to find the total number of characters and then greater than equal to 8. After the condition, we always use a colon to close our condition. When we press enter for new line, it creates a space which we have already discussed is known as indentation. Now we write print your password meets the minimum length requirement. If the if condition is true, it will run this part of the code. Otherwise, it will ignore it. Now let's write the else part. We type else without any condition and use a colon. Then we can write the code like print your password is too short. Minimum length is 8 characters. Let's run the code. If I input a password that is at least 8 characters long, the if part get executed like you can see on the output screen. Now let's run the code again, and I am inputting a password that is shorter than 8 characters, and you can see that the else part get executed. Till now we have been working with if and else only. But what if we have a multiple conditions like 5, 10 or even more? For multiple condition, we can't use just if else statements. We can use the Elif statement for this. Elif allows us to include multiple conditions. Once the if condition gets false, our code will check for the Elif. There could be a multiple Elif conditions, and if all of them are false, our code will run the else statement. Let's perform it practically. Let's say we are going to write a code to identify whether a person can watch a movie or not. We have 3 movies, one for kids above 4, another for teen, and another for 18 plus. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get an input from the user to enter their age, like you can see. After the user input, we use the if statement and write the condition. So the condition is age should be greater than or equal to 18. If this condition is met, we print you can watch all the movies. Now right after if, we use the Elif statement. For Elif, we use the keyword Elif and write the condition. The condition is age is less than 18 and greater than 12. If this condition is met, we print you can watch teen and kids movies. We also have a third condition, so we can use Elif as many times as we want. Again, we use Elif and write the condition age is less than 13 and greater than or equal to 4. If this condition is met, we print you can watch kids movies. At the end, we use else and within it we write print sorry you can't watch any of the movie. The else condition only works when age is less than 4. Let's run this code. If I enter the age as 49, you can see the if condition works. Now again, let's run the code and enter the age as 4. Here you can see the Elif condition works. Now let's run the code again. Let's enter the age as 6. Here again the Elif condition works. Finally, let's enter the age as 2. Here you can see the else condition works. This is how the Elif condition really works. Now let's write another code. In this example, we are creating a menu selection code. The user is prompted to select options from A, B and C. Depending on the user input, different messages will be displayed. We start by getting an input from the user with prompt select an option A, B or C. The input is then converted to uppercase to ensure that the comparison is case insensitive. Next, we use an if statement to check if the user's input matches A. If it does, we print you chose an option A. We move on to the first Elif statement to check if the input matches B. If it matches, we print you chose option B. If the input does not match either A or B, we use another Elif statement to check if it matches C. If it does, we print you chose option C. Finally, if the user's input does not match any of the specified option A, B or C, we use an else statement to print invalid options. Please choose A, B or C. Let's run this code and let's see how it works with different inputs. If we enter A, the output will be you chose an option A, like you can see on the output screen. Similarly, entering B will output you chose option B, like you can see on the output screen. And let's run the code again, and entering C will output you chose option C, like you can see on the output screen. If we enter an invalid option such as D, the output will be invalid options. Please choose A, B or C, like you can see on the output screen. This demonstrates how the if, Elif and else statement works together to handle multiple conditions based on user input. Now let's understand nested if statement. Nested if else statement means we can use an if statement inside another conditional statement like another if, else or Elif. Continuing with the previous example, but inside if statement, we use a nested if statement and ask the user, do you want a cold drink? Yes or no. Let's write our first if statement. If the new input is yes, we print you chose a cold drink with the option A. Let's write another condition using Elif. If the new input is no, we print you did not choose a cold drink with option A. Now let's write else, and within it we simply print invalid response. Now let's run this code. I chose A and now it takes a user input again. If we write no, you can see the response and our nested if condition worked. This is how nested if else condition works. You can even use it within Elif and else as well. The syntax will remain the same. So in Python you can also write if else statement in just one line. But one line if else statements are only great for simple conditions. For complex logic, using a regular if else block might be more readable. And you can't use even Elif inside a one-line if-else statement. Let's see this practically by writing a code to assign a grade based on student marks. We first set a score variable and I am assigning the 90 to a score variable. Then the grade variable is assigned a value based on a score using a one-line if-else statement. Writing the condition in one line: if score is greater than or equal to 90, A is already assigned to the grade. If the first condition isn't met and the score is greater than or equal to 80, B is assigned. If neither of the below condition are met, C is assigned, meaning the score is below 80. Let's run this code. Currently I have already assigned the score as 90 and here you can see the output is A. Again, let's change the value of the score to 69 and here you can see the output is C. This is how it actually works. This is so easy. But keep in mind, using a regular if-else statement is always a better choice for readability. So that's it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, do subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you keep receiving programming videos.